Hello everyone, welcome to the Mustache and The Beard.com, two Ray Geeks.
Changing the world, one post at a time.
Okay, excited to do a new movie?
Yes.
And it's a new one.
It's a new movie.
Yeah, No Time to Die, not till 2021. We like the classic stuff. We always do a lot of classic stuff. But people have been clamoring, right?
Right, for our take on this movie.
Yes. So, John Zeno, to mention them by name, Lady Geek.
Right, Lady Geek. Erica.
Your daughter.
Yeah.
So, hello everyone, my name is Louis Matos, I am the Mustache. And as always, I am here with my bestest buddy,
Junior Figueroa, a.k.a. The Beard, coming to you live from sunny Puerto Rico. And yes, it's sunny, and yes, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, but you know what? Life goes on.
Yes, we're happy.
We're happy. And we're happy to be here with you.
Yes. So, we're going to do Autopsy Plus number 6.
Number 6.
Yes.
And we're going to keep doing them until we get them right.
And it's on No Time to Die 2021, which is the James Bond movie.
That just came out.
So what is an autopsy?
An autopsy is where we examine the movie, we cut it open, we take out all the insides, we examine each and every little thing, then we shove them back in, mix it up around, and see how it comes out.
Yes. And so people have asked why we call them autopsies. It's because we're weird. We can't call it a review.
You're looking at guys that watch Thanksgiving. We're weird. We're weird.
Okay.
Okay?
And what is an Autopsy Plus?
Well, it's when we do that, but for more than one film. And although we're examining No Time to Die, the fact is that this is the last of Daniel Craig's Bond movies, the 5 Bond movies. All 5 movies have interlocked. And so we can't talk about No Time to Die without having discussed the other 4. Yeah, they're going to come up in the discussion.
Okay, and there are spoilers. We usually don't like spoilers,
yes.
But in this movie, we will be talking about spoilers because it's kind of like a major plot thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't like spoilers and you don't want us spoiling this movie,
if you haven't seen No Time to Die, don't watch this video yet.
Yes.
Library it, archive it. Put it to save it for later, and go see the movie first, and then come back and watch our video.
All right. So stop here.
Stop here. Okay.
So people have been asking us about this movie when it came out.
Yes.
Since the moment it came out.
The moment it came out, they wanted to know what was our take on it.
Yes.
Because because they trust our opinion. Not that they necessarily have to agree. Nobody has to agree with our take on any of the things that we review. But they trust us that we know what we're talking about. Also, they know that we're Secret Agent fans, which is why we have a Secret Agent month every year. So they're excited about seeing. It's not every year that you get a new Bond movie.
All right, and so because of the way that they asked us to do this movie, I remember there are a couple of people that when they talked to me, they said, "So, what do you think about No Time to Die?"
They said it like that.
And so, therefore, this has to be the worst kept secret in the world.
Absolutely.
Is that James Bond dies at the end of this movie.
Right.
All right? So we will be talking about that, just not yet. Why this movie? Like I said, people asked us, and because they know that the Beard is a connoisseur of James Bond movies, right? Because you did your first top 10 list was James Bond movies.
I saw my first James Bond movie, actually 2. Dr. No and from Westwood Bubble in a double feature when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
My mother took me to the theater when I was 8. and boy, she had no idea what she was starting.
No.
Oh my God!
The Frankensteinian monster that she created.
Yeah.
All right, and so also on the blog, you also did a James Bond poll, right, of music, of the themes.
Yeah. Up till that point.
Right, and then also you had Her Name Was Bond. So I think you've gone to this.
Her name was Bond. John Payne. My name is Payne. John Payne.
That was the most recent.
And I also did a review of Quantum of Solace.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I think you do a lot of James Bond.
Yes.
All right. So because of that, they asked us to do this movie, and so we waited. And you said you have to watch Spectre before you watch this movie. So. We had to.
That's the problem. Well, it's not a problem, but it does make it a little more complicated. Mm-hmm. That for the first time, the last 5 Bond movies have been, in a sense, one
continuity,
one long story,
mm-hmm.
so that you can't, like I told Louis, you can't see No Time to Die without having seen Spectre. And
having set up expectations with Spectre that are unfulfilled.
so it's complicated. It's like you can't watch Quantum of Solace without having watched Casino Royale.
Uh-huh.
You know, and then you wind up watching when you watch Spectre, you realize that you can't watch Spectre without having seen the other ones,
uh-huh.
all of them.
Uh-huh.
So. I mean, that's just the nature of this
particular set. Yeah, very good. We'll start with background. No Time to Die is a 2021 secret agent film. Mm-hmm. It is the 25th James Bond movie produced by Eon Productions.
Right.
Starring Daniel Craig in his 5th and final outing as 007. Mm-hmm. It is directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga. I immediately recognized that name from his co-writing credit on Stephen King's It,
as a screenwriter,
2017. But he has received acclaim for other movies: Sin Nombre, a Spanish 2009 movie; Jane Eyre, 2011; True Detective on HBO; and The Beasts of No Nation. So he has a lot of good credits. In this film, Bond has retired from MI6 and is recruited by Felix Leiter, who is working for the CIA, to find a kidnapped scientist. The movie began development in 2016, which is one of the problems. It is the first Bond film distributed by Universal. Oh my God. And that's worldwide. Right. So it's the first one. So different distribution company. Sony lost their rights after Spectre 2015. United Artists holds the rights for North America. So it's a different company. So here you have mix, mongrel.
Yeah, and also the losing Sony after Sony having done it, I think affected the outcome of this film. We'll get into that.
A lot of things affected the outcome.
Yeah.
Originally, Danny Boyle was
the director,
slated to direct,
and he brought in his own
screenwriter. And he left in 2018 because he had creative differences
over the ending
with the production company that wanted a specific ending. Correct. Right. That was in August of 2018, but in September they chose Fukunaga, who had already said, I'll do it. All right.
And if I'm not mistaken, there was also a rush because they were going to damn, I don't remember the exact details, but something was going to go wrong if they didn't get a new director within a certain amount of time.
Right, so they would lose the rights.
They were going to lose rights. Yeah, so they were really desperate to bring him in.
Right, and then principal photography started in 2019 and ended in 2019. So within the year, and then of course the pandemic. Billie Eilish. Yeah, Billie Eilish performed the theme song.
The youngest person. To do a James Bond theme song.
The release was delayed by the pandemic. right? So they were done in 2019, and usually production takes about 3 or 4 months, so it would have gone into 2020. But then you start having to wear masks, distance, close down.
They didn't want to do. They wanted to keep it a theater experience. They didn't want to do a James Bond movie streaming. So in other words, they didn't do what Marvel did with Black Widow, that it came out on the streaming service. So they kept holding it back. They kept moving the premiere date further and further back because of the pandemic, which of course added to the costs, because then you had to do a whole new publicity campaign every
new date.
Every new date, exactly. And then you have to do trailers.
Bond. James Bond.
You ever flown one of these things before?
Nope.
I have to finish this.
I know.
The pandemic is part of the issues with this movie. Even so, the movie has grossed $774 million, which sounds like a lot. Now, it also says that they broke box office.
Right, and they have. They have. But they're the pandemic box offices. They're not necessarily,
Yes, so according to certain groups, this is a hit.
A hit.
Because of the fact that it's made more money than other movies.
Right. And it had better opening weekend than any. It had the best opening weekend of any movie since the pandemic. Okay? So yes, I mean, all that is true.
So you're going to hear a lot of caveats.
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready to start with the cast. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Daniel Craig.
Yay!
James Bond, a former MI6 operative in this movie, also known as 007 during his service, has been retired for 5 years after the prologue.
Right.
All right, and so,
which I believe the prologue is supposed to take place right after the end of Spectre. Right. So you get the end of Spectre, and then they go right into the beginning of the prologue, and then there's a jump 5 years.
All right, so Daniel Craig, we love him.
Yes, absolutely.
Although he is probably the saddest James Bond ever.
Oh my God. Oh my. Well, let me tell you something.
God bless him, he's a good actor.
I was just going to say that. Let me tell you something. If you had to have a sad James Bond, the actor to play James Bond was Daniel Craig.
Yeah, awesome. Lea Seydoux,
who goes down in history as the only person to be a Bond girl, Bond woman, in 2 movies.
And consecutive movies.
In 2 consecutive movies.
So she plays Dr. Madeleine Swan, a gorgeous French doctor, psychiatrist. She is a therapist, daughter of Mr. White.
Right, which we introduced to in Casino Royale, back in Casino Royale.
Who she assisted Bond Inspector. She's his love interest there and in this one. Is there anything else we want to say about Lea Seydoux?
She's beautiful and she can act.
Yeah, absolutely.
She can act.
She says that when she saw the screening of the movie, she cried. And she says that has never happened in a movie that she's ever been in. That she cried at seeing herself acting.
Right.
All right. So yes, this is going to be a tearjerker for some of us. Rami Malek.
Malek.
Yeah. Lucifer Safin. Okay, and Ian Fleming name.
Yes, even though it's not from an Ian Fleming story. Yeah, it is a Ian Fleming-ish name.
He's a terrorist leader on a revenge mission against Spectre. And in this movie, he wipes out Spectre with a snap of his fingers. Which is one of my pet peeves, is he's too powerful. I mean, Okay. We'll leave that for later.
There were all kinds of rumors circulating before, while the movie was in production, that he was reprising the role of Dr. No, right? And it all came because he wears a mask in this movie, a very distinctive mask. Well, in Japanese culture, that mask is called a no mask. N-O-H, no, a no mask.
Yes.
And because he was wearing the mask, it started this rumor that he was playing Dr. No.
But he ain't.
He ain't.
I wish he would have.
It would have been kind of cool. It would have been kind of cool.
Lashana Lynch as Nomi is a new 00 who entered the service as Bond leaves, receives his number as a consequence, and she's essentially 007.
She's the new 007. Okay.
We'll move on?
Yes.
She is an attractive woman.
Right.
Not in this movie, though.
Thank you.
I mean, I saw her, like, I saw production stills of her, and
I've seen interviews of her.
I'm like, wait.
What happened? What happened?
All right. We don't want to, God bless her. She needs to be a good actress and get paid for it. Okay, so the next person on the cast is Ben Wisham as Q, the quartermaster. Q is revealed to be gay in this because Moneypenny and Bond come.
They interrupt.
He's going to have a date. He's preparing for a date, and he goes, I got to call him.
I gotta call him. Okay, so Q's gay.
Yeah. But honestly, I think every Q seemed to. I always thought they were gay. I mean, never explicit until this one. But I thought the guys before were.
Well, I don't know, because during the Roger Moore era, Q, all of them, like 99% of his assistants were women.
True.
But then that's the Roger Moore era. There were women all over the place in the Roger Moore days.
All right, so I liked Ben Wisham.
Yes.
It's
a shame that we're probably going to lose.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. The whole supporting cast. Yeah. We're probably going to lose them.
I really like Naomi Harris.
Yes.
As Moneypenny.
As Moneypenny. Yes, ever since Skyfall.
Yeah. M's secretary is Moneypenny and Bond's ally, and they've always had a flirtatious relationship. And listen,
well, she's actually, technically, she's the Bond girl in Skyfall. Because the other girl is the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
The one that gets shot, they put the glass.
Yeah.
So the only other girl in the movie
is Moneypenny.
So technically and we didn't know she was Moneypenny until the end of the movie. So she's the Bond girl.
All right. And Bond girl is their term, not ours. She's a woman,
right?
And we know that. So for all those haters,
we're not being sexist.
No. All right, Jeffrey Wright as Felix Leiter. This is his third time.
Third time.
And he's also broke a record because there was never anybody that played Felix Leiter 3 times.
Right. David Hedison played twice.
Uh-huh.
But this is the first time. And he grew on me.
Yes.
He grew on me. I wasn't that crazy about him in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
But his subsequent appearances, and in this one,
and in the Bond books, he's not in all of them,
right.
But he's in about 4 of them.
And he's Bond's best friend.
Friend, CIA field officer. Felix is the one that pulls James Bond back from retirement
into this world.
Yeah, and so they are surprisingly close. If you're not familiar with the books, all right. In the books, they hang out together.
They hang out together. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So then I'm going to talk about Christoph Waltz. He is Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Bond's arch enemy. Do you hear me? Bond's arch enemy. And foster brother, founder of Spectre in MI6 custody. He's really dangerous, or so Spectre makes you think that he's going to be the overarching bad guy and larger than life bad guy.
And they got a larger than life actor. I mean, the perfect casting.
But nah. How quickly does he die in this movie? Ay, senor. It's like you set it up in Spectre a certain way, right?
Yes.
But you know, again,
and you're coasting on the reputation of Blofeld and Spectre. Okay, you're coasting on that reputation.
Why introduce?
Why give him the scar over his eye if you're not coasting on the previous Spectre and the previous Blofeld, right? And what do you do with it?
Yeah, so for those of you that thought Blofeld was going to be the bad guy,
the ultimate bad guy,
no. Okay, so now Ray Fiennes as Gareth Mallory, or M, the head of MI6 and Bond's superior.
He never did it for me.
He never gave you yayas?
He never gave me yayas. Part of it may have been that Judi Dench just did it too well.
Yeah, no, please. How do you replace Dame Judi Dench?
Yeah.
No matter who is going to be a disappointment, unless you would have gotten Sean Connery. I think that would have blown you out of the water.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or George Lazenby.
That's true. That's true.
That's the only one that would have been like, oh wait.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Man, I would have loved to see George Lazenby.
I mean, I should have done this. I should have done the scripting.
The casting.
Sure. All right. The next one is Billy Magnuson. Is Logan Ash, a CIA agent assigned by Felix Leiter, later revealed to be a double agent working for Lucifer Safin, and another kind of blown opportunity. Because he's supposed to be like the baddie, you know, the whatchamacallit, the henchman.
The henchman, right.
And he has another guy that's supposed to be the henchman, and both
Cyclops,
of them. Yeah.
Cyclops. And they didn't cut it. Yeah. They just don't cut it.
Okay, so enough with disappointment. I'm going to talk to you about somebody that we loved. That I mean, Ana de Armas is Paloma.
Paloma,
a CIA agent helping Bond. She's probably in the movie 5 minutes. 10 max, and those are the best 10 minutes of the movie.
She steals the movie. Now, if the name sounds familiar, she's the star with Daniel Craig in Knives Out, right? The mystery movie Knives Out. Fantastic actress. She looks amazing in this movie, and she was handpicked by Daniel Craig because of Knives Out and their chemistry. He picked her for this role, and she steals the movie. Everybody says it. She steals the movie.
She's bubbly and a knockout in that dress.
Oh my God!
And she fights in that dress. Oh God!
Holy mackerel!
Paloma?
You're late. Vamos.
Paris,
What happened? Ay, Colby, sí. I forget things when I get nervous. This is the biggest job I've ever had.
Is your room?
It's a wine cellar. Come here.
Know each other just a little bit before we
Oh, no, no, I'm sorry. um, I know. I've done 3 weeks training.
There is an action sequence and it centers on her. And she says she's been an agent for what? 2 weeks? She's got 2 weeks experience.
And he goes, after the fact that he's blown away by her, she says, he goes, 2 weeks? And she goes, give or take.
Give or take.
Loved her.
Yes.
Okay. And then last person I want to talk about is Lisa Dora Sonat, is Matilda, 5 years old. She's the daughter of Bond and Swan.
She's James Bond's daughter. I have trouble with kids in movies.
Right,
you know that.
Yeah, and put in danger.
Put in danger, and
it's never happened in a Bond movie before.
I have trouble dealing with that. So she really pulled at my heartstrings.
Now I want to talk about the script because we're not going to talk about the plot. The script is a mess, and now part of it, is that it's too many cooks. They spoil the broth. Right. There's 7 years from the end of Spectre to the beginning. To when they show this movie. 7 years in the interim.
And you could tell that in that 7 years they couldn't help themselves. They had to keep going back and tweaking.
They kept tweaking. That even Daniel Craig says, I want this person to come in and clean up the script. Because he didn't like the way his character was being written. So it's a mess, okay?
It's a mess.
And despite our love for the acting and for some of the characters, there is some stuff that no wonder friends of ours called us and said, "What did you think?" You gotta tell me what you think.
my daughter calls me and tells me, Dad, I saw no Time to Die. Now understand that I raised my children on Bond movies. It was probably not an appropriate age, but I was still taking them to see James Bond movies. So my daughter calls and says, Dad, have you seen No Time to Die? I said, no, I haven't seen it yet. She said, I went to see it. You have got to watch this movie because I need to vent to you, and I don't want to vent to you without you having seen this movie. So I said, okay, I'll make sure I see it. So I see the movie, and I call her up, and I said, Tammy, I saw no Time to Die. And she asked, well, what did you think? And I said, well, I have mixed emotions. What do you think? She said, I think it's the worst Bond movie I've ever seen. They totally ruined James Bond for me, and they ruined my memory of my favorite Bond movie being On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Wow.
She said, that's my favorite Bond movie, and they ruined the memory of that movie for me. I said, oh, well, don't hold back. Just, tell me how you feel. So yeah, this is the kind of calls, right, that we've been getting from people for us to do this.
John Zeno put it on Facebook. He says, did you watch it? I said, no, not yet. He goes, you gotta watch it and tell me what the beard thinks. Yeah. He goes, you gotta do a video. But let me know what you think. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna go, we're gonna watch it. This was, they had moved back. They did the premiere, and then there were like issues with certain theaters not. Yeah. So it was just a big mess. The theater where we normally go.
Yeah, we weren't able to see it in the movies. In order for us to be able to do this video and for us to have watched it, we had to see it in a streaming service. And we couldn't see it in the theaters. It was just, especially because we're in Puerto Rico.
All right. So COVID affected this movie, obviously. Now you have issues. You want to bring those out,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about what we think about the ending.
Okay. So actually, the first thing on my list was the ending. So I'll leave it for later.
Okay.
Okay. One, I have issues with the death of Felix Leiter. I feel as if, what were you doing cleaning house, right? You kill off M, you kill off Felix, you kill off Blofeld, you kill off what? It's too much. And by doing that, you lessen the impact of Felix's death. If he's supposed to be the sacrificial lamb in this movie, he's online. You know, you got to wait online for this, and it took away from it. It should have been more. If it had been the only one, it would have been more impactful. But it wasn't. You blew it. Okay. The death of Blofeld. Come on, what a letdown. Come on, you established this guy is like, we're introduced to a villain in Casino Royale, Le Chiffre. We're introduced into a villain in Quantum of Solace, Dominic Green. We're introduced to a villain in Skyfall, Silva. And then Inspector, we're being told that those three guys, master criminals, were actually henchmen of Blofeld and Spectre, making him the master manipulator, making him the master super criminal, right? And what do we get? You kill him off the way you killed him off. You introduce him as Bond's foster brother, and you kill him off the way you killed him off. Come on. I mean, and then you've got an actor like Walsh to what? To sleepwalk through a park?
To just show up and die.
To show up and die.
I was annoyed at you because you told me you need to watch Spectre first, and I watched Spectre, and then I'm like, why? Why? If Spectre is setting up that this is the guy, and you use this other guy, Lucifer Safin, with, a cool name, but he's not Blofeld. I mean, I would have even, if it would have been Dr. No, I would have taken that. But still, it's like, you set him up with Spectre.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so...
And
I was mad at you for that.
But you understand why I said that, because otherwise it wouldn't have made any sense.
I know.
And oh my God, with a push of a button, he wipes out the number one global criminal terrorist organization of the world. Boom, gone. Give me a break.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Give me a break.
What a letdown.
And then, Blofeld doesn't even get a death scene.
Right? They don't even show
He dies off camera. Then they show that he's already dead. Come on. Come on. Do you understand that
was the vicarious, joy that we were supposed to get that we didn't get. You didn't let us enjoy it.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. The new 007.
Oh God.
Okay? Now, believe me, I have no problem the new 007. One, I had no problem with the idea of there being a new 007. I didn't think they were going to retire the number, and he quit at the end of Spectre. And then this is supposed to be 5 years later. I get it. I had no problem with having a new 007. I have no problem with the new 007 being a woman. I have no problem with her being a black woman, right? But you did absolutely nothing to endear me to this character. Nothing. There was no save the cat. You did not. I did not like her. Okay, because you didn't do anything to make me like her. In the case of Paloma, you put more thought into that character than you did with the new 007.
She should have been 007.
Oh my God! I can't believe it. So how am I supposed to care about it? You did nothing to make me care about it. In fact, she was annoying. She was annoying. And to show you how far off field you were, that scene where they're having a final drink to James Bond's memory, she ain't even there. You didn't even put her there. Come on. Q is there. Tanner's there. Moneypenny's there. M's there. Shouldn't she have been there? That's how much of a throwaway character you made her out to be, and then you expected us to embrace her. Sorry, it don't work that way. You blew it.
Yeah, and if you know, Save the Cat is the tool that you use to get your audience to care about the character, because the character in effect saves a cat. It's like, oh,
saves
look,
a cat,
saves
an old person, saves a dog,
yeah.
And then you think, oh, that's so nice. I'll give you an example in Pulp Fiction. The Pulp Fiction, you got John Travolta and Samuel Jackson are about to do something horrendous. They're going to go to his apartment and kill these guys, right? And Quentin Tarantino knew that was going to put you off. So he creates that scene where they're in the car talking about what a Big Mac is called in France. And you're cracking up and you're loving these two guys. That saved the cat. So now later on, when they do something that you don't like, you're willing to forgive them, because you already like them. That saved the cat.
Yeah, and in Puerto Rican speak, it's like, ay bendito.
Ay bendito.
All right.
So they did nothing
to make you like her.
To make you like her. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing at all. So now, Blofeld is not the bad guy in this movie. I don't understand why. Because if we're having the same Bond woman for 2 movies, why couldn't we have the same Bond villain for 2 movies? Instead, we get Safford, who's a weak character. He's a weak character. He's not thought out. He's not well presented, and I don't understand his motivation.
Right.
I understand he's wanting revenge against Blofeld. I don't understand why he did any of what he did after that.
Yeah, the opposite of save the cat is kill the cat.
It's kill the cat, kill the dog.
And we should have seen something like that. And kill the dog is something that is like a throwaway. You're like, wow, he killed that person without a thought. And so it's supposed... But we don't see that. We see this massive killing of Spectre, and we're like, he didn't earn that. He didn't earn that.
And the thing is that it doesn't paint him as a bad guy because he killed bad people. Okay? He's saying he kills Madeline's mother, but saves her life. So I don't understand this guy. I don't understand. He was not well thought out. You got a great actor, right? Malik is a great actor, and and those eyes, he reminds me of Peter Lorre. With those eyes, perfect. If you had given us, you didn't give us a villain worthy of the actor that you picked. You didn't. I'm sorry. You blew it there also. I was a little disappointed with the action sequences. Okay? Bond movies are supposed to be innovative. Okay? They raised the bar for action adventure, starting with Dr. No. I remember reading reviews of Dr. No, and the critics were puzzled. I don't know how to review this movie. It moves so fast, and and all this happened, and before I had the time to think about one thing, I was introduced to something else, and they used to say, it moves like a commercial. It's like when it's pop, 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 pop. That Bond was an innovation. They introduced that. The car chases, or motorboat chases, ski chases, helicopter chases. They innovated that. Fight scenes. The fight scene in From Russia with Love on the train. Oh my God! But now they seem to be lagging behind. There's a lot of competition out there. There's the Bourne movies. There's Mission Impossible. There's Fast and Furious, and they're not keeping up. The Bond movies are not keeping up. I felt like if the chase scenes, because they're not learning from what's gone on before. In a chase scene, a car chase scene, you don't really want to see the person driving, close-ups of the person driving. What you want to see is the stunt. Yeah. You want to see the swerving, the jumping. You want to, and how often in like, for example, Fast and Furious, haven't they pulled back so that you see these incredible stunts? But you spoil the
suspense
and the pace. The suspense, and when you suddenly focus on the person driving
in the car,
in the car.
Like, what the hell?
You took me out of the moment, and they do that a lot in this movie. So I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but this Bond movie, the action scenes were not up to par.
Well, there are a couple that I liked.
Yeah, but I'm saying overall, it should be. A Bond movie should be raising that bar.
Paloma's action.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Paloma,
and the first scene.
Oh my God, that helicopter, the motorcycle jump. That motorcycle jump. In the beginning of the movie. Yes.
And then he grabbed the cable. Throws himself. It never would have occurred to me to do that.
That's the stuff that we're talking about. But it didn't last.
I know.
It didn't last. Okay?
That's just the opening scene.
Well, they were making sure that nobody walked out. Okay, so that's because we're going to talk about the ending.
Yeah.
The ending. That's it for my dislikes. Okay. I also have a list of likes. What are your dislikes?
Okay, the way I approached it was, because of the way that people asked the question, I said to myself, well, I know James Bond dies, so what expectations would I have for it to be a good movie? All right? So I said to myself, well, James Bond has to die saving the world. Right. All right? So, number one, die saving the world. Felix Leiter should be in it. Right, because I love the character, and in the books he's gone through a lot.
Yeah, and it's his best friend. If he's going to die, he should.
Say goodbye.
Yeah.
Bond has to have a bittersweet shot. In my opinion, he should have a shot at having a happy ending.
Right.
All right, and then we get pissed off that he didn't get it.
Right.
So. And I think Blofeld should be the villain.
The one who kills him.
The one that kills him, that he ultimately has to sacrifice himself, but that James Bond gets the last laugh.
Right.
Okay,
it should be the arch enemy.
So I was satisfied because some of that criteria was met. But the Lucifer Safin thing was absolutely a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
That bothers me because, again, you told me to watch Spectre.
I know, blame it on me.
And
it's all my fault.
And Blofeld is set up as
the
puppet master.
Yes.
And so it's like, all the bad guys or because of Blofeld. And it makes perfect sense if you read the books. And so I'm like, yeah, I like that. And then
they made it even more poignant by making them foster brothers. I mean, because it's like Thor and Loki. You know? It's like,
we get along with our brothers.
Yeah.
We love them, but somehow these people. And I had an adopted brother. I mean, so yeah. All right, so a lot of positives, a lot of negatives. So yes, mixed emotions, but at the end, I was crying. So it only as an afterthought do I say, and only because you reminded me, because I didn't remember the whole thing about the watch. And I'm like, you mean he could have lived?
It goes to show you what we were talking about. Too many hands in the script, and so it got a rewrite, and they forgot about the watch.
Yeah, and it was obvious, and they could have fixed it. That's the problem. All right. Yeah, so that's my disappointment in the ending.
Okay. Now we spent a lot of time talking about this. Like, what did you like about the movie?
I love Leah Seydoux.
Madeline Swan.
Yeah, Dr. Madeline Swan. Loved. First off, she's a doctor. She is a professional. All right, and a psychotherapist. He needs a psychotherapist. I was telling you at the beginning, it's like, wait, in what mind does it occur? Now, I'm telling you, the scene in the beginning. There's a bridge in Italy, basically, and there are two cars. A motorcycle and a car, and he's in the middle. I told you, I would have died in that scenario.
Yeah.
Whereas,
no.
Yeah, they're all shooting at him, and James Bond decides, I'm going to grab this cable and just throw myself over the side because I think I can rappel. And I'm saying to myself, damn, that was like innovative. So
I love that motorcycle. Oh my God, the motorcycle jump. And the thing is that they filmed it perfect from back, right? So that you could see it as one continuous shot.
And so you're drawn into the movie immediately.
Yes.
All right. So yes, that beginning, I loved Ana de Armas. I continue to love her.
Yes.
In every single movie that we've seen her.
Yep. I would like her and Daniel Craig to keep making movies together.
And I've mentioned this before in our video when we did Knives Out. I said she looks like a young girl. So he is substantially older than her. Now, mind you, she's 32. So she's not a little girl.
No, she's not.
And he's 52, 51. Mm-hmm. So, basically they're 20 years apart. And it's not like they're in romantic scenes.
No, and it's not that bad. Nowadays it's not that bad.
No.
She's in her 30s, and in her 50s.
Yeah, so in that respect, and she's wearing that dress.
Oh my! And that was the perfect dress
to fight in.
Oh yes.
Listen, Ana de Armas as an actress, again, 10 minutes, grabbed you, didn't let you go, and when she is off set, I'm hoping we're seeing more of this woman.
That's what I was hoping. I was hoping they bring it back later on in the movie.
No, and they didn't. And they could have. Because at the end, we were looking for more agents.
That's right.
You said...
And what happened to the CIA's involvement in all this? All of a sudden, it ended?
And how come we know there are more double O's?
Right.
In the
Why
books,
is it just the two of them?
Why
does it... If you're going to the point where you're going to destroy the planet, and you're going to send rockets and missiles. Why did you send only 2 people to make sure that the blast doors were open? You should have sent in a whole commando team. Look at Thunderball with the aqua parachutes, right? That's what this called. Look at the storming the volcano and You Only Live Twice. That's what this called for. I don't know. I guess they ran out of money.
But the point is, Ana de Armas was already in the movie.
Right.
So they could have used her.
They should have brought her back.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, you just reminded me of another piece. Okay? Nomi's supposed to be the new 007. Right? He says, here, take my family to safety. I will go on. Shouldn't the 007 have said, no, you take your family, I will go on.
Yeah, it's my job.
It's my job.
You're the one that you're retired. But yeah, that's right. But I get it that he's the hero, so,
But if Paloma had been there, right, he could have told her, take my family. And then the 2 of them
correct
could have gone on and gotten separated, and then Bond would have his solo moment, his solo.
Right. But, and then the new 007 could have sacrificed herself.
It really bothered me that in that drink at the end, having a toast to her, and she's not there. I felt like that was a slap in the face. You're the new 007, and you couldn't be.
You're not invited?
You're not invited?
You're right. It is kind of dumb.
It's a slap in the face.
Ratings and recommendations. I'm going to go first. No. You go first because I think I'll be higher than you.
Okay, yeah. Right. You're going to be higher. Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead.
First off, recommendation. It's going to sound funny, but I highly recommend this movie. Okay? Despite all my complaints, it is a James Bond movie, and it is Daniel Craig's last James Bond movie. You have got to watch this.
Yeah, this is a fan.
It's the passing of an era. Okay? You have got to watch this movie. As a matter of fact, ideally, you should watch all 5 and cap it off with this one. If you can. You can watch all 5 and cap it off with this.
Eventually they'll be on Amazon on a January, because that's when they do this.
Yeah. So, I recommend this movie. Now, I do have a lot of complaints. I said mixed emotions. So, as far as the rating is concerned, the most I can give this movie is 3.5 great geeks. Okay? I would like to have given it more. It has one of the things that bothers me about this movie is that it had the potential to be so much better. The potential is there. You can see it on the screen for it to be so much better. But I get, and 3.5 is not bad.
No,
it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's very good.
It's very good. So I give it 3.5 great geeks. So, what do you say?
I gave it 4 great geeks. Obviously, can't give it 5 because it's not perfect. I do think that if they would have, they had it there. The problem with this movie is that they had all the ingredients for it.
Yes, they did.
They did. You already have Ana de Armas there. She's already, alright, so you killed off Felix Leiter. So you can't use him. But she could have been part of the band that goes in there. Guns blazing.
Yes.
Guns blazing. And isn't she supposed to be the friend of the new James Bond? It's just there were some ingredients there that could have made this perfect. So
it should have been Saffron.
Right.
It should have been Saffron.
Yeah, it should have been Blofeld. Absolutely. And again, it makes me even want to cry further that if he would have just done
a little
electromagnetic pulse. Sweetie, I'm coming home. boom.
and Bond could have gotten the happy ending that he was entitled to.
Yeah.
It is so. The way you wanted to kill him off, and you did kill him off, and yes, you did save the world, but you blew it.
Yeah.
You blew it.
After Vesper Lynn, the betrayal.
My God,
He earned it. He earned it.
These Craig's Bond movies are so dreary. They're so dreary. I mean,
even when he makes a joke, it's dry.
Vesper dies. Casino Royale. Dreary. He's a crazy person in Quantum of Solace.
Mm-hmm.
Dreary. M dies in Skyfall.
Uh-huh.
Dreary. The only one that didn't end dreary was Spectre, right? And then you undid it with this one.
Yeah.
So then you kill off Felix, you kill off Blofeld.
Yeah. And honestly, I would have been okay with the killing of Felix Leiter.
Right, as the sacrificial
lamb. Because we know that there's a sacrificial lamb in every one of them.
But instead he gets pushed out of the position because now Bond dies. He's the ultimate sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. So anything that Felix Leiter did,
yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. So, but again, I cried at the end of this movie. I got some of the things that I would have that checked off my boxes.
Right, that you were looking for.
It was just that damn Safin. Lucifer Safin. Cool name, but Blofeld sounds better.
Yeah, the thing is,
Don't whisper, please.
What kills me is, Lou, they had the potential with Le Chiffre and Casino Royale. They blew it.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic Green in Quantum of Solace is a weasel.
Yeah.
Okay, they blew it. Silva was fantastic, but that was more Javier Bardem rather than the way the writing.
You're
right?
You're
It was more his performance.
Actor, yes,
yeah, he saved the role,
right?
Then they set it up. Blofeld,
the half brother. I mean the
foster brother. They set it up. Oh my God, this is going to be great. It wasn't. And then they give us Safin. It's like they don't know
what good thing they have.
Yeah, and the thing is that, oh my God, they get such great actors, because I forgot it. For Le Chiffre.
Yeah.
Madsen, he did Hannibal Lecter on the TV show, right? Yeah, he's the one who played Le Chiffre. Fantastic actor, right? But you're not giving them.
Okay, so I think we've
beaten this to death.
Yes, we've beaten a dead horse. Listen, we like this movie. There were some problems with it. Part of it is the pandemic, and part of it was the 7 years of trying to figure out a script. Wanting to do too much with something that really should have tied it all in a bow, and it didn't come into a bow. It became a mess. Yeah. But we, because we're fans, still want to look at it in a positive way.
Yeah, we hung in there.
Yeah.
We hung in there.
All right, so usually when we come to the end of the video, I ask you for a wise message.
I don't
and
have,
you don't have a wise
but I do
message.
have something to say.
Of course you do.
Of course. Oh, I always have something to say. No, the fact of the matter is that we know what we're going to do for our next video.
Oh, that's right.
We never do this. Yeah. We could preview our next video again, and it's appropriate because it is also a request. The same way we had people telling us that they wanted us to talk about No Time to Die, they've asked us to talk about this also. There is a comic book called King of Spies, right? And we've gotten several requests to cover this. For us to cover this
from
comic
one of the
book.
geek sites.
Yes.
The followers of the geek sites, they said, in fact, Lance, the obscure movie guy.
Our buddy Lance. Our buddy Lance.
Yes.
Our bosom buddy.
Yeah. He said, I think, when they were talking about this comic book on the site, he says, I think it's time for the Mustache and the Beard to do a review. And so, we're doing
it. And the thing is, we're going to do, for the first time, we're doing a video, a review of something that is not a film, of prose, specifically a comic book. It is sequential art, but it is not. It is not a movie or TV show.
Yeah, and he came up with a title called Sequential Art Video Review.
Savor
it, baby.
We're gonna savor it, baby. so that's our next project. You'll be getting that next week. We're going to do our first savor.
I told you were weird.
On King of Spies.
Yes.
Join us, please.
Yes. Savor number 1 will be coming your way shortly.
Yeah.
And so, usually at the end of the video, we say thank you for watching.
Thank you very much. We love you.
We love you. Absolutely. Please stay safe.
Hit that like button. Hit the favorites. Come back. If you have any suggestions, we're open to suggestions. You can see this that we did right now was based on a request. We take requests. And we also will also accept criticism if it's done in love.
Yes.
Please do it in love.
Okay. So as always, my name is Louis Matos. I am the Mustache.
Yes, he is. Oh yeah, this is Junior Figueroa. I be the Beard.
We say see you later.
Hasta la vista.
Take it easy.
Peace.